a very familiar drug for many anesthetists. So the side effects and all are well studied. It of course it can cause demyelination in porphyria patients as well as thrombosis and endarthritis are very profound complications whenever there is an extravasation. So midazolam, again a very widely used drug in ICUs, was the dose around 0.1 to 0.4. Only problem is it's a variable effect. The onset of action is also quite quick, around 1 to 2 minutes you can, and also the additional benefit is it causes amnesia as well. Well, of course, the disadvantages, like I said, slower of onset of action and also suboptimal effect at lower doses. You might not have any intubating conditions if at all you give a very graded dose of midazolam. Ketamine, a very useful drug, again in special populations like asthmatics, unstable hemodynamics, a crash intubation, you can always consider ketamine. It increases both the inotropic effect and definitely the heart rate also goes up, which is very, very important, and especially when there is bradycardia, very unstable blood pressure. Or it causes bronchodilation, very useful in asthmatics. Its only disadvantages is it increases the ICP and IOP, salivation and all are some of the other increased salivation and oral secretions might be some of the disadvantages. Propofol, again a very good drug and one of the favorite of the anesthetists is a propofol outright we use in the operation theater. The same can be used in ICU, but again in very selected populations for elective intubation and all, where there is stable hemodynamics, you can consider propofol. But remember, the hypotension and bradycardia again can be very profound, and you should be very aware of that. You cannot just give propofol and walk away from the patient. You should monitor this patient, and then like always look for in like any hypotension, and you should definitely start at a transient and vasopressor to counter its hypotensive effect. So selecting the sedative, last few slides. So you remember, if at all you are looking at hemodynamics, choose fentanyl, ketamine and etomidate. Where they are considering unstable hemodynamics, always look at these three drugs in that order. Neuroprotection, you look at thiopental and propofol. Propofol again a little bit controversial with regards to where you are going to place it. At bronchodilation, look at ketamine, and also the speed of onset of action. All of them are pretty good, but with regards to the onset of action. And then the side effects. Remember where you are looking at like unstable hemodynamics. Definitely don't go in for your thiopental or propofol. Where neuroprotection is your main concern, try to avoid ketamine. Where you need an immediate onset of action, and avoid midazolam. Where the patient has already been given naloxone for other reasons, and so try to avoid fentanyl in these patients. Opioid toxicity coming to you, try to avoid fentanyl in these patients. So specific contraindications where the patient is already having porphyria and all, avoid these drugs. Certain patients might be having lecithin allergy and specific drug allergies, so you cannot give propofol in them. So this is the intubation reflex. You should have the intubation reflex is as important as your reflexes at that particular point of time. Remember, difficult airway is all about your reflexes. Okay, so whenever you go through a particular patient's history, you should understand what all things which you can give, what all things you cannot give, and immediately you should choose the appropriate drug. So certain situations I will put across as you can tell me what drugs you would want to give. So anybody wants to answer this?
Anybody from the audience, just have a guess.
What kind of drugs you want to use in this patient? How many are anesthetists here?
We have to switch on the lights, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, any guesses are fine. All of us are amateurs in
Now,
difficult airways.
now, after all the knowledge, you should be able to answer at least some of these questions. So this essentially is a 27-year. These are all the cases which you will come across in your ICUs, nothing very special. Okay, so it's a patient who has come with overdose of benzodiazepine plus tricyclic antidepressants, and then the patient is having a decreasing, the LOC is worsening, conscious level GCS is worsening, and then there is a white complex regular rhythm. The blood pressure is borderline, and you are considering intubation because of the low GCS. So, what kind of drug you want to use? Hmm. Etomidate and rocuronium. Very good. Sodobicarbonate. Okay, good. So, see, your choices are very limited. Okay, so A, B, C, D. If at all you go, there are only four only. Okay, in any situation, there are only four choices in this. Okay, so just uh, going to going across a patient, and then he has multiple abdominal stab wounds, and then he is having evisceration, agitation, non-cooperative. His heart rate is around 140, blood pressure is low or is borderline, and saturations are okay, but because he needs to go in for into the operating room anyway, you are going to consider intubation in this patient, and damage control surgery. So tell me one agent you want to avoid in this patient, rather than there are many choices with regards to which you can take forward, but one or two agents which you want to avoid, one agent which you want to avoid. Pardon? Scoline. Why you want to avoid scoline? Yeah, that's good. So you don't want to increase the intragastric pressures. Okay, so evisceration is already there. Okay, so you don't want to increase the. You do not know the head injury component as well. Remember, trauma patients, you should always consider some amount of head injury unless until it is proved. Okay, so definitely you want to avoid scoline. Any sedative agent you want to avoid? Somebody there. Ketamine, yeah, very good. Why ketamine? You want to avoid? Yeah, same again. It increases your intragastric pressure and this one. So what is the ideal agent here? Which is the agent which you want to use? Thiopentol. Okay. We have good agents. If at all you don't have access to the other agents, yes. Etomidate. Yeah. Okay. Paralytic. Rocuronium. Yeah, you can use rocuronium. So a combination of etomidate and rocuronium again. So here the choice is easy. Who wants to use ketamine? Only few. Okay. What other people want to use if they don't want to use ketamine? Have you seen the bottom line? This is respiratory acidosis. Okay. So what does respiratory acidosis do to your CPP and all? So is it wise to increase your ICP in these cases if you consider ketamine? You want to use propofol? Relaxant. Remember, this is a patient of who is having a very poor respiratory reserve. Okay, asthmatic, COPD patients, and all these have very poor respiratory reserve. So you should always consider ultra short acting agents. Okay, okay, you can consider rocuronium or scoline whenever you are considering. But again, ICP is a concern. So remember to use either you can consider ketamine, of course, but ideally, since the PCO2 is on the higher side, you might consider other agents, propofol also. So you're just walking around, and then there's a patient who collapses at the bank, and then he complains of very severe headache, and he has collapsed. Okay, on arrival, he's already decorticating. His pulse rate is around 55. The heart rate is, the blood pressure is 170. What might be the condition? Pardon? Increased intracranial bleed. Consider SAH in this patient. Headache, sudden severe headache, and then he has collapsed suddenly. Young patient. Yeah. So which agent you don't want to use? You don't want to use ketamine. You don't want to use scoline. Also, you don't want to use. So you don't want to use scoline as well. So the other agents, propofol. You want to ideally pre-medicate this patient. His heart rate is just around 55. So you want to pre-medicate as well. Yeah. Okay. So the rest of the choices are easy there. This is an interesting case. So first, can you guess what kind of a patient is this? What is your initial provisional diagnosis? You know, it's not a renal colic. That's why I put it on the heading. It's not a renal colic. It might mimic a renal colic, but it's not a renal colic. Look at that blood pressure. Pheochromocytoma, his blood pressure will be on the higher side, no? Some impending rupture. What rupture? Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, good, good. So it might be a aneurysm, aortic aneurysm, okay, dissecting. Okay, these are the situations where the patient, like a hypertensive patient, that's one of the clue over there. Where, yes, complained of flank, abdominal aortic aneurysm close to the renal artery could be what you're looking at. So you want to pre-medicate in this patient? We had specifically discussed about one drug. Some beta blocker we talked about. Esmolol, yeah. So you can consider esmolol in these patients, and then intubating with BP hardly recordable. So this almost qualifies like a crash intubation. Okay, it's a peri-arrest situation. BBS, the diastolic is not recordable, only systolic is recordable, that too only on palpation. So these are the situations where you can consider RSI or slash you can consider intubation only with sedation alone. Okay, so any other agent might actually or might potentially cause hemodynamic instability or crash. So this is a peri-arrest situation again. So you have very little time. You need to stabilize this patient immediately. Take him to the OR, okay, operating room immediately. So this is again easy. Last one. So you want to avoid? Dialysis patient, CKD. Scoline you want to avoid? Yes, obviously. So CKD patients, they will have hyperdynamic circulation. The blood pressure is on the higher side. You have the luxury of giving various drugs. Okay, you can consider propofol in these patients, and so you can't give scoline obviously. So rocuronium, cisatracurium. Okay, so these are all the potential agents. Okay, so I just put in some situations so that you can go through them. So again, epileptic patient, thiopentol, midazolam. Okay, so all the agents which have a stabilizing effect on your CNS, and then again a stable paralytic like your rocuronium or cisatracurium you should consider.